Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here. We're doing another Swiss Battle for Zendikar draft. We opened Scatter to the Winds, but I think Stasis Snare is a better card. Flash, deal with any creature spell in white. Pretty awesome. Really, really powerful white removal. Better than Scatter to the Winds in my opinion. Otherwise, there's Outnumber, Nullifier, Myers Malice, Valakut Predator. Some other pretty high pick playable cards here, but nothing that's quite on the same level as Stasis Snare, I don't think. So we'll take it. Okay, we're on the second pick. Well, I mean, on color we've got Royal's Retribution, which is fine. It's kind of a difficult card to play sometimes. You have to leave up 5 mana. It's kind of easy to play around. I think a more powerful card would be Touch of the Void. I don't know if I want to exactly commit to 2 colors right off the bat. My favorite color to pair with white is blue, and both Royal's Retribution and Stasis Snare would be fantastic in that deck. I'm not sure if I want to take the Touch of the Void. I do think it's good. Royal's Retribution is fine. Like I said, it's just one of those cards that your opponent kind of gets an easier time playing around sometimes because it's tough to leave up 5 mana. But it's kind of nice. I actually like the idea of running Royal's Retribution alongside Stasis Snare. Leave up 5 or 3 mana. And both of them are flash. It's kind of good. Okay, well, Shadow Glider would also be very good for the Blue-White Flyers deck. Otherwise, it's fine in like a black-white life gain. I kind of like just taking... There's some good red cards in here, though. Stone Fury, Tunneling Geopede. I think I'm just going to take the Shadow Glider, though. Shadow Glider, I'm sure, is fine and playable in black-white life gain, but it's one of the more important cards. Well, not one of the more important, but a very good, nice pick for blue-white. Blue-white archetype is where it really shines. And otherwise it would probably be Stone Fury, but in the blue-white Flyers deck you really can't have enough Shadow Gliders. They're kind of important, like I said. You tend to end up with a little bit of clunkiness if you don't have Shadow Gliders. I do think Stone Fury, I'm going to keep my eye on red a little bit. Wow, Vile Aggregate. Alright, well, the problem with Vile Aggregate is does not work with these 3 picks at all. If you're in white, you really can't hope to get any Devoid at all. I could take Ghostly Sentinel. I mean, getting a 4th pick Vile Aggregate probably just means straight up red's open. Here's the problem, though. It basically just negates my first 3 picks, because red-white with Vile Aggregate is really not that great. You need to pick up a lot of red Devoid to have any hope of Vile Aggregate doing something. I could take Ghostly Sentinel, which is a good card, straight up. Guess it's probably time to jump on the red bandwagon. We'll take the Vile Aggregate. We're getting past that many. Okay, so now can take the Nursery. Otherwise, Unified Front, which isn't that great. Nothing else in this pack, really. But we'll take the Nursery. Might just end up, well, red dried up a little bit. I'm going to still hedge my bets that maybe blue-white can still work. In which case, I wish I'd taken the Ghostly Sentinel. But Wavewing's good here. I don't really think Processor Assault's all that good. Could take a Castigator. It's not great. It's not really what the Blue-White Flyers deck wants too much, but it does trade, or it attacks early or trades with things. Processor Assault's not that good unless you have quite a bit of ingest. Blighted Gorge is fine. Boiling Earth's pretty good. Guess we'll take Castigator. Maybe we're back on the blue-white plan, I don't know. Well, that's a late Stone Fury. Slide Runner, Castigator. All right, well, we're running into the problem here. Red's open, but Vile Aggregate and Molten Nursery just do not have a place in a red-white deck. We're going to take the Stone Fury there. All right, let's cut Elemental. Probably just cut the Nursery. Probably leave the Aggregate for now. We'll take the Predator, which I like more than Invoker if we're playing aggressive deck, which I think we are. All right, take the Great Horn. It's not great as the name suggests, but that's fine. Focus versus Sure Strike. I guess Focus is probably better. 1 mana. Okay, so I think we're just probably just straight up playing red-white aggro, or trying to. All right, take a Merc Strider, I guess. Merc Strider is good in the Vile Aggregate blue-red deck, but we already kind of just... We're committed to white at this point. So I don't want to back out of it. I think we can make a nice aggressive deck work. It still seems like red is open. That was a super late Stone Fury. Got a 4th pick aggregate. Wasn't the Predator after the Stone Fury pick? I mean, it just definitely seems like red is open. I was maybe a pick, possibly 2, late on picking it. It just sucks that Vile Aggregate is so strong, but just not that good in this deck. And it probably will never be that good in this deck. It does have Trample, I guess, but 3 mana, 1/5 Trample Ingest in an aggressive deck is really just not good enough. All right. Upheaval, sure. I'm going to let somebody have a Voracious Null. I think at this point we're probably just not in black. I think we're likely committed to red-white. If red gets cut in pack 2, which is a chance since there was a lot of red going mid to late, I think we'll have a better chance of picking up red cards in pack 3. But white certainly seemed open too. We saw a very late Castigator. I mean, our deck is fine for now. We have 9. Wow, Gate Warden. Is that worth anything? I always forget. I feel like it is. But I'm probably wrong since this set does not have... Oh, Gate Warden. It's Green Warden. Silly me. One ticket. Yeah, I think we can pass on that. All right. Deathless Behemoth is very good. It's just too powerful to pass here, I'm thinking. It's also Shadow Glider, Sheer Drop, another Castigator. I think we'll wheel one of those. But at least Deathless Behemoth has good Vile Aggregate synergy, too. I still want to play the Aggregate. It's just, like I said, it's going to be really difficult to do alongside white, which just has 0 Devoid. Okay, so there's Envoy, which is aggressive. We have Patrol, no good red pick. Sentinel, I guess, is a fine red pick, but it's not very aggressive. So Sentinel has better synergy with the aggregate, but nothing else in the deck. If we're trying to be aggressive, a 1/4 is just really not what you want. Then again, I guess an Envoy is not that great either. Envoy hits for more damage than Sentinel, but Sentinel's got to be better than Envoy. Even if it's not for this deck, the fact that it has better Vile Aggregate synergy probably just puts it... I mean, Sentinel's a better card than Envoy because even though it doesn't attack for as much damage, a 1/4 body can be really good. Especially in a deck like this that has good removal, possibly can get some more evasion. Okay, I'm going to take the pick that synergizes better with the aggregate, because at this point, aggregate is probably the strongest card we have in our deck, so we'll just take the Sentinel. Oops. Okay, so now we have a choice between Sure Strike, Tactics, Great Horn, Focus. Probably not Warpaint. I can probably wheel that. So I've got 7 creatures, 4 non-creatures. Tactics is a good trick. I would like the Tactics here, I think, over the Focus and the Sure Strike. The life gain is really nice. Playing multiple Great Horns is never is really never great. I guess we'll take tactics. So I think we're going to lose a little bit of aggression, but I'm okay getting more of a late game going. I know it seems strange when you're playing red-white, but we don't have to, just because you're in red-white doesn't mean you have to play aggro. You can still develop a good mid-range strategy, but you do have to sort of gear your deck up for it. So tactics is a really good card for that. It also synergizes well with other white cards, which I think makes it the pick here. Coastal Discovery, yeah. I'm not giving up anything for it. I don't really care about Raider, even though it performed well for me last time I played it, but it's not saying much. It tends to go ridiculously late anyway. We'll take the Discovery. Maybe we even splash it. I'd like to splash it if I could find an Evolving Wilds. Okay, I mean, there's Zada. We have Focus Tactics, and that's about it. Probably just want Invoker here. It's one of those cards that really pushes our deck towards more mid-range, which, like I said, I'm perfectly fine with at the moment. So let's do it. All right, Predator's just always good for whether you're aggro or mid-range. I think Predator's probably good enough. Just being able to pretty consistently attack for 4 damage. I mean, certainly there's a better argument that Predator is good in aggro, not nearly as good in mid-range, but it's so efficient. It really does attack so well. It's a high pressure card. I think we got to take it here. Like, even Sentinel and Predator play okay together. You get a nice blocker and you're still swinging for the fences with your 4/4. I think that's reasonable. I understand it doesn't seem like the most cohesive plan, but I think it's fine. Scour from Existence, Sandstone Bridge. I think Bridge is probably pretty good with Sentinel Aggregate, Predators, even Greathorn. Yeah, don't really need a Warpaint for this deck. Pathway Arrows is actually fine sideboard card, but I think we're 100% playing the Bridge, so we'll take it. Okay, we can take a champion here. It's better than Charge and Warpaint, I think, for the deck. And I assume Bring the Light is still not worth anything. There was a time right at the beginning of the set where it was worth quite a bit. Yeah, it's not worth anything now. 15 cents. All right, we're going to take the champ. Prefer to not play it, but we'll take it for now. It is playable in here. Boiling Earth's a very good pickup. Castigator's also good, but Boiling Earth, now that we are less aggressive, more... I mean, we could still be aggressive, but I'd rather just have the Boiling Earth. It's just a great card. It seems like something that would be very beneficial for us now that... Like, I'm trying to think of what our late game plan is. I think basically one more good Eldrazi or just another big finisher somewhere, and this deck could really come together as mid-range. I think at this point I'd rather play mid-range than aggro. Like Rune Processor here. I'm going to take it over the Envoy. We have Stasis Snare and Aggregate, both of which actually work with Rune Processor. I think people tend to forget that Stasis Snare works with the processing plan. So I guess I take it back. There is like some super mild synergies with white and some of the black and blue processing. Not much though. All right, we'll take the second Greathorn. I think actually Greathorn as a first striker is fine. A second Focus. Oh, I could take a second Focus. I think it's probably just something we don't need though. We'll take the Greathorn. All right, second Sandstone Bridge over the Lava Step Raider. Recruit, sure. All right, so we're going to have enough playables. That's good news. Last pick, Warpaint. So I really want Evolving Wilds here. That would help a lot. I really do want to play this Coastal Discovery. It's this set's Mull Drifter. And getting some card advantage seems like something this deck wants pretty bad. Boiling Earth also has synergy if you awaken it with the Vile Aggregate. Wow. That was a nice open. Slamming Rolling Thunder and not looking back. There's just nothing even kind of close to the power level of Rolling Thunder. What's our first cut going to be? Probably the Champ. Well, it's going to be Coastal Discovery unless we get an Evolving Wilds in the next few picks here. I think Champ's out, though, just because... Actually, I probably can run a Champ over one Great Horn, just for diversity's sake. You don't need to go deep onto Great Horns. I think in a perfect world, I don't run either. Okay. I think we just take Nettle Drone here. Works with Aggregate. It's fine. It's not exactly what a mid-range deck wants, but it's fine. It'll work. It'll do what we need it to do. It can get in points of damage when you can block. Otherwise it's like tunneling GOP, but which I think is very good too. But I'd much rather have the Nettle Drone for the Aggregate synergy. We want Aggregate to be able to attack, and Nettle Drone is always good. So this is the pack where we're supposed to pick up all the red. All right, Nettle Drone number 2, absolutely. I think Fortified Rampart's fine, but maybe we wheel it. Nettle Drone is one of those cards that gets really nice in multiples. Just here's all the red we're asking for. Just so beautiful. Certainly a beautiful thing here. All right. I think Discovery's out. There is Evolving Wilds, but there's no way I'm passing a Coom Hellkite. Absolutely not. Maybe we wheel that Sentinel because no one's in red this direction, I think. I think the next cut is probably Shatterskull Recruit. Although, yeah, that's fine. Looks like a bit of a miss here. Can take Inspired Charge. Can take Fertile Thicket. We don't have any Converge. And Fertile Thicket does not let us play Coastal Discovery. I don't really think we need Inspired Charge. We already probably have enough removal and tricks. I think I might just take the Eyeless Watcher. I'm not going to play Cohort. I'm not going to play Charge. All right. Eyeless Watcher could be annoying in the right deck. Ooh, Encircling Fissure is super strong. I'm going to take it over the second Boiling Earth, absolutely. Yeah, Encircling Fissure is just fantastic. It's so easy to underrate this card until you play it and you're like, oh yeah, my opponent's creatures do nothing. Sentinel number 2 is just a fantastic pickup for us. Synergizes well with the deck. Buys us the time we need to get to our mid to late game. Now we just straight up are not aggro. We have a fantastic mid-range deck, in my opinion. Really a fantastic mid-range deck. Just great early blockers. A great late game plan with Aggregate, Nettle Drones, Rolling Thunder, Hellkite, Ruin Processor, Deathless Behemoth. Our removal is good. Courier Griffin is actually a very nice card for this deck too. I'd rather run that over a Great Horn, I think. There's Rampart, but we have double Sentinel, Aggregate. Our blocker situation is fine. We're going to take the Griffin, and I think we're cutting Great Horn. I could look and see. Yeah, I think Great Horn gets the cut here. Slab Hammer tends to work well with flyers, with which we only have Glider, Griffin, Hellkite. It does have good synergy with Hellkite. Fantastic synergy with Hellkite, actually. And it also has good synergies with the Predators because of Landfall. It does not synergize well with Rolling Thunder. We're not taking anything else in here. I don't need a Sure Strike. We don't need any more combat tricks. This is a very solid looking 22 card deck at the moment. We'll take the Slab Hammer. I don't think we're playing it though. Geopede Wheel is fantastic. I'm trying to think if I play the Geopede over something. I might want Geopede over Castigator. Might actually play it over a combat trick now that I think about it. I'd rather play Tactics in a mid-range deck than a Focus. And I don't really need the Focus. I'm going to cut the Focus, I think. And we're going to run Geopede as our... I guess it's more like our 17th creature with Encircling Fissure and Boiling Earth. Okay, I can take the Rampart now. I don't think I'm playing it, though. Like I said, with double Sentinel, we probably don't need the 06. Whereas Looming Spire, I think we're just going to play. Rampart would have been fine there, but I don't know what I'd cut for it. I kind of like I don't want to cut a Castigator for it. I think Castigator works fine as a blocker. It actually does. 3 power is just very important. It attacks well early and it blocks well. Wow. Well, I absolutely would run a Sentinel over a Castigator. I think Sentinel's just straight up better for our deck. This is a weird deck. This is a very strange deck. Yeah, I think we're I think we're just cutting Castigator. Okay. Yeah, the reason this is a strange deck is red-white typically does not have any sort of devoid sub-theme, but we're getting just so many late good red devoid cards that we actually ended up with enough gas for Vile Aggregate to be good in here, which was our plan. So we can even count Encircling Fissure and Boiling Earth. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 things. Wait, 10 things. Is that right? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 things. 9 things that... no, 10 things. I keep screwing up my count. It was 10. Yeah, 3 Sentinels, 2 drones. That's 5. 6 Encircling Fissure. 7, 8. Why do I keep missing one? You can't count Aggregate because it... Well, I guess you kind of can count Aggregate. It does boost itself, but I don't know why it didn't just say it's a 1/5 that's... Well, I guess they just didn't want to do the awkward power is equal to that number plus 1 or whatever. So yeah, this is our deck. Looks just super powerful. We have a fantastic mid-range deck here. Mostly red. Good white cards, though. I think Retribution's much better in a mid-range deck than an aggressive deck anyway. Some more red than white. Actually, how much more red than white? Well, we also get rewarded for mountains because of Hellkite. So I think we're probably going to do... Well, I don't really want to do a 10-7 split because we have 2 double white spells. I think we more likely do a... Well, no, I can do 10-8 actually, now that I think about it. All right, we'll do 10-8. That's acceptable. We certainly have more red than white, so that makes sense. Yeah, this deck is fantastic. Just a really nice late game plan and fantastic early blocking. Some evasion. Removal is just great. Really nice removal. Stasis Snare, Retribution, Stone Fury, Rolling Thunder, Boiling Earth. Yeah, this deck came together really nicely. So, no, I don't think I want to do that. I think we want to do 6. So this is 10 red, 8 white. That's going to work. I'm going to rate this deck pretty high. So I would rate this deck probably... I think I'm going to rate it... I think I'm going to rate it about 8 out of 10. It's really... It oddly is cohesive, considering it's a color combination that is much more inclined to be hyper-aggressive. But we have a sort of red archetypal synergy going with this devoid sub-theme. We have powerhouse white removal. We have excellent red finishers, as well as Deathless Behemoth and Ruin Processor. So there's no shortage of end game. There's fantastic early game that buys us time. Just really seems like a powerful deck here. So, and I mean, look how many ways we have to finish the game. We have, not even counting the whole aggregate devoid sub-theme, we've got Invoker, Geopede, Double Nettle Drone, which just ping and ping and ping. Behemoth, Hellkite, Ruin Processor, Rolling Thunder. Just a lot of things going on here. So, cool deck. Looks like it'll be a lot of fun. We'll run it like this. We'll see you round 1.